Question 1. What is the historical significance of the year 1066 for England? A. The signing of the Magna Carta. B. The outbreak of the English Civil War. C. The Norman conquest of England. D. The establishment of the House of Commons. Answer. C. The Norman conquest of England. In 1066, William the Conqueror, the Duke of Normandy, invaded and conquered England, significantly influencing the culture, governance, and aristocracy of England. Question 2. Who was the first female monarch of England? A. Queen Victoria. B. Queen Elizabeth I. C. Queen Mary I. D. Queen Anne. Answer. C. Queen Mary I. Mary I, also known as Mary Tudor, was the first female monarch to rule England in her own right from 1553 to 1558. Question 3. Name the document that officially ended the absolute monarchy and established constitutional monarchy in England. A. The Magna Carta. B. The Bill of Rights 1689. C. The Royal Decree of 1601. D. The Act of Settlement 1701. Answer. B. The Bill of Rights 1689. This document officially ended the absolute monarchy and established a constitutional monarchy by setting out the rights of Parliament and limiting the powers of the king. Question 4. What battle in 1314 was a significant victory for Scotland in the Wars of Scottish Independence? A. The Battle of Hessitings. B. The Battle of Stirling Bridge. C. The Battle of Bannockburn. D. The Battle of Flodden. Answer. C. The Battle of Bannockburn. This battle was a significant victory for Scotland, where Robert the Bruce defeated the English forces, paving the way for Scottish independence. Question 5. Which British Prime Minister is best known for their role during World War II? A. Winston Churchill. B. Neville Chamberlain. C. Clement Attlee. D. Margaret Thatcher. Answer. A. Winston Churchill. Churchill is renowned for his leadership of the United Kingdom during World War II, particularly for his speeches and radio broadcasts that helped inspire British resistance. Question 6. What was the main outcome of the Glorious Revolution of 1688? A. The establishment of the Bank of England. B. The signing of the Treaty of Paris. C. The overthrow of James II. D. The introduction of the English Bill of Rights. Answer. C. The overthrow of James II. The Glorious Revolution led to the overthrow of King James II in favour of William III and Mary II, which was a pivotal event leading to the development of a constitutional monarchy. Question 7. Which treaty marked the conclusion of British involvement in the American Revolutionary War? A. The Treaty of Paris 1783. B. The Treaty of Versailles. C. The Treaty of Westminster. D. The Treaty of London. Answer. A. The Treaty of Paris 1783. This treaty marked the end of the American Revolutionary War and recognized the independence of the United States, concluding British involvement. Question 8. What are the main responsibilities of the Home Secretary in the UK government? A. Economic development. B. Defence and military. C. Education and culture. D. Domestic security and immigration. Answer. D. Domestic security and immigration. The Home Secretary's responsibilities include overseeing policing, national security, and immigration matters within the UK. Question 9. What event in 1534 marked a major shift in religious authority from the Pope to the English monarch? A. The signing of the Treaty of Rome. B. The passing of the Acts of Supremacy. C. The establishment of the Church of England. D. Both B and C. Answer: D. Both B and C. In 1534, the Acts of Supremacy were passed, which declared King Henry VIII the supreme head of the Church of England, marking a major shift in religious authority from the Pope. Question 10. Which Act of Parliament, passed in 1707, officially united England and Scotland into Great Britain? A. The Union Act 1707. B. The Commonwealth Act. C. The Great Britain Act. D. The Acts of Union 1707. Answer: D. The Acts of Union 1707. This act officially united the kingdoms of England and Scotland into a single sovereign state known as Great Britain. Question 11. What was the main cause of the English Civil War in the 17th century? A. Religious differences. B. Economic crisis. C. Power struggle between the monarchy and Parliament. D. All of the above. Answer: C. Power struggle between the monarchy and Parliament. The main cause of the English Civil War was the ongoing power struggle between King Charles I and Parliament, which ultimately led to military conflict. Question 12. Who was responsible for establishing the Church of England? A. Henry VIII. B. Elizabeth I. C. James I. D. Charles I. Answer: A. Henry VIII. King Henry VIII established the Church of England in 1534 after separating from the Roman Catholic Church. Question 13. What was the primary purpose of the Acts of Union 1800? A. To merge the Kingdom of Great Britain with the Kingdom of Ireland. B. To establish parliamentary democracy. C. To reform the education system. D. To consolidate financial laws. Answer: A. To merge the Kingdom of Great Britain with the Kingdom of Ireland, forming the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland. Question 14. Who was the longest reigning monarch of England before Queen Elizabeth II? A. Queen Victoria. B. King George III. C. Queen Elizabeth I. D. King Henry VIII. Answer: A. Queen Victoria. Queen Victoria was the longest reigning monarch before Queen Elizabeth II, reigning from 1837 to 1901. Question 15. During which war was the Battle of the Somme fought? A. The First World War. B. The Second World War. C. The Korean War. D. The Boer War. Answer: A. The First World War. The Battle of the Somme was one of the largest battles of the First World War, fought in 1916. Question 16. What year did the United Kingdom join the European Economic Community, which later became known as the European Union? A. 1957. B. 1963. C. 1973. D. 1985. Answer: C. 1973. The United Kingdom joined the European Economic Community, the precursor to the European Union, in 1973. Question 17. Who was the British monarch during the Victorian era? A. Queen Victoria. B. Queen Elizabeth II. C. King Edward VII. D. King George VI. Answer: A. Queen Victoria. The Victorian era is named after Queen Victoria, who reigned from 1837 to 1901. Question 18. What is the significance of the Magna Carta in the context of British law and governance? A. It introduced the concept of the welfare state. B. It provided the foundation for the parliamentary system. C. It established the principles of legal rights and the rule of law. D. It created the position of Prime Minister. Answer. C. It established the principles of legal rights and the rule of law. The Magna Carta, signed in 1215, is a cornerstone of English governance and law, emphasizing the importance of a legal system not subject to the whims of rulers. Question 19. Name the movement in the 19th century that led to the reform of the parliamentary system in the UK. A. The Chartist movement. B. The Labour movement. C. The suffragette movement. D. The Conservative movement. Answer. A. The Chartist movement. This was a significant working-class movement for political reform in Britain in the 19th century, which, among other things, sought to make the parliamentary system more democratic. Question 20. What was the primary goal of the suffragette movement in the early 20th century? A. To gain women's right to work. B. To achieve women's suffrage. C. To reform education for women. D. To establish women's legal rights. Answer. B. To achieve women's suffrage. The suffragette movement was primarily focused on securing the right to vote for women. Question 21. Which Prime Minister is associated with the welfare state reforms post-World War II? A. Winston Churchill. B. Clement Attlee. C. Harold Wilson. D. Margaret Thatcher. Answer. B. Clement Attlee. Clement Attlee was the Prime Minister who oversaw extensive social reforms and the establishment of the welfare state in the UK after World War II. Question 22. What was the main issue addressed by the Reform Acts in the 19th century? A. The abolition of the monarchy. B. Expansion of the voting franchise. C. The establishment of the National Health Service. D. Women's rights. Answer. B. Expansion of the voting franchise. The Reform Acts primarily addressed the expansion of the voting franchise and the redistribution of parliamentary seats to more accurately reflect the population distribution. Question 23. Who was the British Prime Minister at the start of the 20th century? A. Robert Cecil. B. Arthur Balfour. C. David Lloyd George. D. Winston Churchill. Answer. B. Arthur Balfour. Arthur Balfour served as Prime Minister of the United Kingdom from 1902 to 1905. Question 24. What significant naval engagement in 1805 confirmed British naval supremacy over France? A. The Battle of Trafalgar. B. The Battle of Waterloo. C. The Battle of the Nile. D. The Battle of Dunkirk. Answer. A. The Battle of Trafalgar. The Battle of Trafalgar in 1805 was a decisive naval engagement that confirmed British naval supremacy over France during the Napoleonic Wars. Question 25. What was the primary objective of the Beveridge Report of 1942? A. To provide recommendations for post-war economic stability. B. To outline the creation of the welfare state. C. To address wartime strategies. D. To promote gender equality in labour. Answer. B. To outline the creation of the welfare state. The Beveridge Report was instrumental in laying the foundations for the welfare state in Britain, including the establishment of a comprehensive health and social care system. Question 26. Which treaty resulted in the formation of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland in 1922? A. The Treaty of Versailles. B. The Anglo-Irish Treaty. C. The Act of Union 1800. D. The Treaty of Lisbon. Answer: B. The Anglo-Irish Treaty. The Anglo-Irish Treaty of 1921 led to the establishment of the Irish Free State and subsequently the formation of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland in 1922. Question 27. What event is remembered on Guy Fawkes Night? A. The end of the English Civil War. B. The Gunpowder Plot of 1605. C. The signing of the Magna Carta. D. The Battle of Britain. Answer: B. The Gunpowder Plot of 1605. Guy Fawkes Night commemorates the foiling of the Gunpowder Plot, in which Guy Fawkes and other conspirators attempted to blow up the Houses of Parliament. Question 28. What was the purpose of the Corn Laws in the 19th century? A. To restrict the import of corn to increase domestic prices. B. To subsidize the export of corn. C. To decrease the price of bread. D. To establish agricultural standards. Answer: A. To restrict the import of corn to increase domestic prices. The Corn Laws were designed to protect British agriculture by imposing tariffs on imported grain, thereby keeping prices high. Question 29. Who were the main political figures in the establishment of the Good Friday Agreement? A. Tony Blair and Bertie Ahern. B. Margaret Thatcher and Garret Fitzgerald. C. John Major and Albert Reynolds. D. David Cameron and Enda Kenny. Answer: A. Tony Blair and Bertie Ahern. Tony Blair, the UK Prime Minister, and Bertie Ahern, the Irish Taoiseach, played pivotal roles in negotiating the Good Friday Agreement in 1998, which helped bring an end to the Troubles in Northern Ireland. Question 30. What major social reform did the Factory Acts during the Industrial Revolution address? A. The regulation of trade practices. B. Improvements in working conditions and hours. C. The establishment of trade unions. D. Child labour in agriculture. Answer: B. Improvements in working conditions and hours. The Factory Acts were a series of laws passed to improve working conditions, particularly in terms of limiting working hours and improving the environment within factories. Question 31. Name the series of laws that expanded voting rights to women in the UK. A. The Equal Franchise Acts. B. The Representation of the People Acts. C. The Women's Enfranchisement Acts. D. The Suffrage Acts. Answer: B. The Representation of the People Acts. These acts, particularly those of 1918 and 1928, expanded voting rights to women, initially to those over the age of 30 and later to all women over the age of 21, equal to men. Question 32. What was the main result of the Battle of Britain in 1940? A. German forces invaded Britain. B. Britain maintained control of the skies over Britain. C. The UK signed an armistice with Germany. D. The Royal Air Force was defeated. Answer: B. Britain maintained control of the skies over Britain. The Battle of Britain was a crucial air campaign in which the Royal Air Force successfully defended the UK against large-scale attacks by Nazi Germany's air force, the Luftwaffe. Question 33. Which law marked the beginning of decolonization with the independence of India in 1947? A. The Indian Independence Act. B. The Partition Act. C. The British Withdrawal Act. D. The East India Company Act. Answer A. The Indian Independence Act. This act, passed by the UK Parliament in 1947, marked the end of British rule in India and the partition of India into two independent dominions, India and Pakistan. Question 34. What crisis in 1956 led to significant changes in British foreign policy? A. The Suez Crisis. B. The Falklands War. C. The Cold War. D. The Korean War. Answer A. The Suez Crisis. The Suez Crisis of 1956, involving the invasion of Egypt by Israel, the United Kingdom, and France after Egypt nationalized the Suez Canal, led to a major revaluation of British foreign policy and a realization of the declining power of the British Empire. Question 35. Who was the first British Prime Minister of Asian descent? A. Rishi Sunak. B. Sajid Javid. C. Priti Patel. D. Boris Johnson. Answer A. Rishi Sunak. Rishi Sunak became the first Prime Minister of the United Kingdom of Asian descent when he assumed office in 2022. Question 36. What is the role of the Lord Chancellor in the UK? A. Chief Legal Advisor to the Crown. B. Head of the Judiciary and Speaker of the House of Lords. C. Principal Private Secretary to the Prime Minister. D. Chief Whip in the House of Commons. Answer B. Head of the Judiciary and Speaker of the House of Lords. The Lord Chancellor plays a crucial role in the judicial system and also participates in legislative processes as part of the House of Lords. Question 37. Who was the Iron Lady of British politics? A. Queen Elizabeth I. B. Margaret Thatcher. C. Theresa May. D. Angela Merkel. Answer B. Margaret Thatcher. Margaret Thatcher, the former Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, was nicknamed the Iron Lady for her strong leadership style and conservative policies. Question 38. What was the purpose of the Royal Marriages Act 1772? A. To prohibit the marriage of members of the royal family without the consent of the monarch. B. To allow any member of the royal family to marry a commoner. C. To establish a set age for marriage within the royal family. D. To require all royal marriages to occur at Westminster Abbey. Answer A. To prohibit the marriage of members of the royal family without the consent of the monarch. The Royal Marriages Act 1772 was enacted to ensure that members of the British royal family obtained the sovereign's approval before marrying. Question 39. What conflict led to significant changes in the British electoral system in the early 20th century? A. The Boer War. B. World War I. C. The English Civil War. D. The War of the Roses. Answer B. World War I. The aftermath of World War I and the changing social attitudes brought about by the war contributed to significant electoral reforms, including the extension of the vote to women and working-class men. Question 40. What event marked the beginning of the British Raj in India? A. The Battle of Plassey. B. The establishment of the East India Company. C. The Sepoy Mutiny. D. The Royal Proclamation of 1858. Answer D. The Royal Proclamation of 1858, following the Sepoy Mutiny, Indian Rebellion of 1857. The British Crown took direct control of India from the East India Company, marking the beginning of the British Raj. Question 41. Who was the first president of the Board of Trade in the 18th century, known for his opposition to slavery? A. William Wilberforce. B. John Wesley. C. Charles James Fox. D. Edmund Burke. Answer A. William Wilberforce. William Wilberforce was a prominent British politician and a leader of the movement to stop the slave trade. Question 42. What major health crisis led to the establishment of the NHS? A. The cholera outbreaks of the 1830s. B. The Spanish flu of 1918. C. The tuberculosis epidemic in the early 20th century. D. None of the above. It was established post-World War II as part of welfare state reforms. Answer D. None of the above. It was established post-World War II as part of welfare state reforms. The NHS was created in 1948 by the post-war Labour government to provide healthcare services funded by taxation. Question 43. What act in 1832 marked the beginning of major social reforms in the British Parliament? A. The Poor Law Amendment Act. B. The Factory Act. C. The Reform Act. D. The Abolition of Slavery Act. Answer C. The Reform Act. The Reform Act of 1832, also known as the Representation of the People Act 1832, expanded the electoral franchise and is considered the start of modern electoral reform in Britain. Question 44. Which King of England was known for his 6 marriages? A. King Edward VII. B. King George III. C. King Henry VIII. D. King James I. Answer C. King Henry VIII. He is famously known for his 6 marriages in his quest for political alliance, marital bliss, and a male heir. Question 45. What was the primary function of the British East India Company? A. To govern the British colonies in America. B. To act as a sovereign power in India on behalf of the British Crown. C. To promote trade between Britain and the East Indies. D. To explore uncharted territories in the Pacific Ocean. Answer C. To promote trade between Britain and the East Indies. The British East India Company was originally chartered to trade in the East Indies, but ended up ruling large areas of India. Question 46. What landmark case in 1772 helped to begin the abolition of slavery in Britain? A. The Zom case. B. Somerset v. Stewart. C. The Amistad case. D. Scott v. Sandford. Answer B. Somerset v. Stewart. This case helped establish the illegality of slavery in England when the court ruled that slavery was unsupported by existing law in England. Question 47. What major international event did London host in 2012? A. The G20 Summit. B. The Summer Olympics. C. The Commonwealth Games. D. The World Expo. Answer B. The Summer Olympics. London hosted the 2012 Summer Olympics, marking the city's 3rd Olympics, having previously hosted them in 1908 and 1948. Question 48. Which law, passed in 1967, began the process of decriminalising homosexuality in the UK? A. The Sexual Offences Act. B. The Human Rights Act. C. The Civil Partnership Act. D. The Equality Act. Answer A. The Sexual Offences Act. The Sexual Offences Act 1967 decriminalised homosexual acts in private between two men over 21 years of age in England and Wales. Question 49. Who was the Prime Minister during the UK's economic crisis in the 1970s? A. Harold Wilson. B. Edward Heath. C. James Callaghan. D. Margaret Thatcher. Answer C. James Callaghan. James Callaghan was the Prime Minister during the latter part of the 1970s when the UK faced significant economic challenges, including high inflation and strikes. Question 50. What event in 1982 asserted the UK's territorial claims overseas? A. The invasion of the Falkland Islands. B. The Suez Crisis. C. The handover of Hong Kong. D. NATO exercises in the North Atlantic. Answer A. The invasion of the Falkland Islands. The Falklands War in 1982 was prompted by Argentina's invasion of the Falkland Islands, a British overseas territory. Question 51. Which Act passed in 1998 established devolved legislatures in Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland? A. The Union Act 1998. B. The Devolution Act 1998. C. The Scotland Act, the Government of Wales Act and the Northern Ireland Act. D. The British Isles Act 1998. Answer C. The Scotland Act, the Government of Wales Act and the Northern Ireland Act. These acts provided for the establishment of the Scottish Parliament, the Welsh Assembly and the Northern Ireland Assembly. Question 52. What agreement in the 1990s played a critical role in peace in Northern Ireland? A. The Belfast Agreement. B. The Dublin Accord. C. The London Declaration. D. The Edinburgh Agreement. Answer A. The Belfast Agreement, also known as the Good Friday Agreement, played a crucial role in establishing peace and power sharing in Northern Ireland. Question 53. What is the purpose of the UK's Data Protection Act? A. To regulate the processing of data on identifiable living people. B. To protect intellectual property rights. C. To regulate the financial transactions. D. To monitor international data exchange. Answer A. To regulate the processing of data on identifiable living people. The Data Protection Act controls how personal information is used by organisations, businesses or the government. Question 54. What was the main outcome of the Tony Blair administration's intervention in Kosovo? A. It led to the independence of Kosovo. B. It stopped the ethnic cleansing. C. It resulted in a prolonged military occupation. D. Both A and B. Answer D. Both A and B. The intervention by NATO, led strongly by Tony Blair's administration, helped stop ethnic cleansing and eventually led to Kosovo's independence. Question 55. How did the Public Health Acts in the 19th century improve urban living conditions? A. By regulating housing standards. B. By improving sanitation and reducing waterborne diseases. C. By establishing public health departments. D. All of the above. Answer D. All of the above. The Public Health Acts addressed sanitation, water supply and housing conditions, significantly improving urban living standards. Question 56. Which monarch signed the Charter of the Forest, a companion to the Magna Carta? A. King John. B. King Henry III. C. King Edward I. D. Queen Elizabeth I. Answer B. King Henry III. He signed the Charter of the Forest in 1217, which re-established rights of access to the royal forest of free men. Question 57. What was the social impact of the Enclosure Acts in England? A. They increased the efficiency of agriculture. B. They led to significant urbanization. C. They reduced the rural population. D. Both B and C. Answer D. Both B and C. The Enclosure Acts privatized common lands, leading to urbanization as displaced rural populations moved to the cities. Question 58. Name the Prime Minister who oversaw the transition of Hong Kong back to China. A. Tony Blair. B. John Major. C. Margaret Thatcher. D. David Cameron. Answer A. Tony Blair. Tony Blair was the Prime Minister when Hong Kong was returned to China in 1997. Question 59. What legal reform in the 19th century allowed non-Anglicans to hold public office? A. The Catholic Emancipation Act. B. The Reform Act. C. The Religious Disabilities Act. D. The Test Act repeal. Answer A. The Catholic Emancipation Act of 1829 allowed Catholics and other non-Anglicans to hold public office, broadening civil rights. Question 60. What are the primary responsibilities of the Secretary of State for Defense? A. Managing education policy. B. Overseeing the country's defense and armed forces. C. Regulating healthcare services. D. Supervising economic strategies. Answer B. Overseeing the country's defense and armed forces. The Secretary of State for Defense is responsible for all matters concerning national defense and the British Armed Forces. Question 61. Who was known for their policy of splendid isolation in foreign affairs? A. Winston Churchill. B. Neville Chamberlain. C. Lord Salisbury. D. Tony Blair. Answer C. Lord Salisbury. As Prime Minister, Lord Salisbury was known for his policy of splendid isolation, which aimed to keep the United Kingdom out of continental alliances and conflicts in the late 19th century. Question 62. What major reform was introduced by the Education Act 1944? A. Establishment of comprehensive schools. B. Introduction of the national curriculum. C. Expansion of secondary education to all children. D. Introduction of tuition fees for higher education. Answer C. Expansion of secondary education to all children. The Education Act 1944, also known as the Butler Act, was significant for making secondary education free and compulsory for all children up to the age of 15. Question 63. What was the pivotal battle in the Napoleonic Wars that ended Napoleon's rule? A. The Battle of Trafalgar. B. The Battle of Waterloo. C. The Battle of Austerlitz. D. The Battle of Leipzig. Answer B. The Battle of Waterloo. The Battle of Waterloo in 1815 was the decisive conflict that ended Napoleon Bonaparte's rule and marked the end of his imperial ambitions in Europe. Question 64. Who led the Labour Party to its first post-war government in 1945? A. Clement Attlee. B. Harold Wilson. C. Winston Churchill. D. Tony Blair. Answer A. Clement Attlee. Clement Attlee was the leader of the Labour Party and became Prime Minister in 1945, leading the party to its first post-war government and implementing wide-ranging social reforms. Question 65. What is the significance of the Statute of Rhuddlan in Welsh history? A. It established English rule over Wales. B. It granted Wales representation in the English Parliament. C. It recognised Welsh laws and customs. D. It was the first legal document written in Welsh. Answer. A. It established English rule over Wales. The Statute of Rhuddlan in 1284 was enacted by Edward, the First of England, and effectively annexed Wales to England, integrating it under English law. Question 66. What historical figure is known for issuing the doctrine of lapse in India? A. Lord Dalhousie. B. Lord Mountbatten. C. Queen Victoria. D. Robert Clive. Answer. A. Lord Dalhousie. As Governor-General of India, Lord Dalhousie implemented the doctrine of lapse, which allowed the British East India Company to annex territories of rulers who died without a male heir. Question 67. Name the landmark ruling in 1969 that began the abolition of capital punishment in the UK. A. The Murder, Abolition of Death Penalty, Act 1965. B. The Capital Punishment Amendment Act 1868. C. The Homicide Act 1957. D. The Crime and Disorder Act 1998. Answer. A. The Murder, Abolition of Death Penalty, Act 1965. This act suspended the death penalty for murder in Great Britain and was effectively the beginning of its complete abolition. Question 68. What major public work is associated with Sir Joseph Bazalgette in the 19th century? A. The construction of the London Underground. B. The design of the British Museum. C. The building of the Thames Embankment. D. The development of the Royal Albert Hall. Answer. C. The building of the Thames Embankment. Sir Joseph Bazalgette was a civil engineer who created major sewers in London, which helped stop the city's cholera epidemics and included the construction of the Thames Embankment. Question 69. Who was the monarch during the Great Fire of London? A. Charles II. B. James II. C. Elizabeth I. D. Henry VIII. Answer. A. Charles II. King Charles II was the monarch during the Great Fire of London in 1666, which destroyed a large part of the City of London. Question 70. What was the main consequence of the Treaty of Utrecht for British foreign policy? A. It ended the War of the Spanish Succession. B. It resulted in the loss of British colonies in America. C. It began Britain's involvement in the 7 Years' War. D. It secured Britain's naval dominance over the French. Answer. A. It ended the War of the Spanish Succession. The Treaty of Utrecht in 1713 ended the War of the Spanish Succession and marked a major turning point in European politics, securing British gains in Spain and the Mediterranean.